Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Scrap Squad Sunday. And this, the layout for this week is this incredible, simply, absolutely gorgeous layout by Jana McCarthy for the Vicki Boutin design team in, I don't know, like 2018, 2019. Anyway, it's when I recognize those flowers from an older collection, and I no longer have those flowers, and I don't have the stamp for those flowers, so I used a different Vicki Boutin stamp for my flowers, and I'm going to go in a different color direction. I actually have an order in for craft paper. I've done a few craft layouts lately, inspired by the Craft Plus community challenges, and so I went a different way because my photo has that bright blue, Ava's bright blue uniform. She was playing t-ball, I guess it was. She was like 3 or 4, and I just love this little photo of her, and her blue contrasts with the color of the sand on the base path. And I don't know if it's what I have no idea what's fascinating her about this, the sand and what she's picking at in there, but I'm reasonably certain she should have been playing the game at the time. And she's just like her dad. The way John used to put it is, James was too busy picking daisies in the outfield, and he was too busy to notice where the ball was hit. And that was kind of at that age, that, or even a little older than that, James was kind of that way. So anyway, I am going to start by doing some of this mixed media dottiness in the back, and I think Jana probably used 2 or 3 different stencils. I'm just going to keep it simple and use one. And I'll tell you about some of the embellishments I'm going to use. I actually die cut them out of backgrounds or cards, little samples that I made in Friday Night Live with Vicki Boutin last night. So let's get started. I'm going to kind of I'm going to use this blue texture paste, which is, let's see, Blueberry Pie. And I'm going to try to keep it very minimal on here. I'm going to spread it out here on this acetate sheet first. It's a little bit, my texture paste is a little bit thick, which I kind of like in that it'll dry fast and it won't leave a lot of, it won't sneak under the stencil. This stencil is from the latest collection, Color Study. I know that my cluster is going to be kind of right smack in the center, and I want the mixed media to kind of be up towards the top part of it because I've got other stuff down here. So I'm going to turn the stencil that way. And I'm going to do a few holes this way. And I'm actually going to use my finger. I learned this last night, that if I want to completely fill the holes when the texture paste is this dry. Okay, that's kind of cool. And I'm gonna go kind of do a little bit bigger swath down here, because I know the tag's gonna kind of lean that way. And I'm just gonna kind of spread it like that. Let that one go out a bit. Okay, not sure if that's good. I'll probably use some down here because I have some left on my acetate. And even if it gets covered up, if we just have 1 or 2 dots poking out, that would, you know, be kind of cute. And maybe I can arrange things so that that actually happens. Okay, so let me do that. And I like it when it has the little shadow dots, and I kind of like it so much, I may do a few around like that. And that kind of just adds a little bit of color and interest as we start, because everything's going to be concentrated in the center. And I'm going to clean this, and I'm actually going to clean it off on a sheet of foundations paper using a baby wipe, and that's kind of off camera. Let me bring it on, and this will end up being something, but I don't want to lose it. I don't want to lose all that color and product on there. And I have a whole slew of things. This could probably be the start of another page where I add lots of other things, and these dots are just kind of in the background. And this has nothing to do with tonight's layout, but maybe it should. Okay, that's good, and I can just kind of take it from there down the road. And let me give it another good swipe to get it really clean, and I kind of have to bear down, so I'm not doing that one on camera. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. Now that this guy is off camera and drying, I'm going to work on building the, and I can wash that off later. I'll put all my everything together that needs to be cleaned. And those of you that have been watching me for a while know that this is the part where John would normally step in. He'd have heard me say something about, I'll put these aside so they can be cleaned, and he'd be up walking around getting them for me. Okay, I used these, my grandkids got me this set of tag dies, and they're wonderful, and so I used the 2 biggest ones, and they're not here in the packet, but that's how I cut these. I was going to use just the blue for the tag, and then I thought, and I was going to maybe matte the photo in this floral. I used these 2 papers together on the layout yesterday. Hopefully that's not, I think they go in different albums, so I'm okay with that. And then I thought, well, I really don't want to cover that up. It's so pretty, so I want more of it showing. So I'm going to slant the photo like this. I'm going to put it on some foam here and foam tape right here. And I'm going to let it kind of hang over. I'm not going to put the, I'm not going to pull that tape off because it may go down on top of a flower. So let's see how that works. I actually kind of like it better that way. So I can take the tape off, the backing off, because there's not enough overlapping to really worry about. Okay, so now I'm going to start building my layers. This was on the cards and stuff we did last night. We just did some kissing, which, you know, you could also call the packaging technique, but it's a little bit less rubbing and more just lightly kissing the packaging down on the paper. And it left me with this, and I never did anything on top of it. It kind of got off to the side. So I stamped these flowers on here this morning, and I didn't have a very big piece of it, so I had to stamp some of the flowers off the page. And then I took a different piece that had some dots and some other stenciling going on, and I didn't really like how it was, the direction it was headed, so I die cut these leaf sprigs using another Tim Holtz die, and then I die cut these clouds, and I didn't want them to look exactly like this, so I got 2 different stencils and went over them with white paint, and that kind of pushed some of the green and blue to the background, so they look a little bit different and a little bit, I don't know, frostier maybe. So I'm going to, I found these flares, and they're just the perfect color orange. One of them came as a freebie in the May kit, and the other one was kind of loose in the bottom of the box. So it might have been a mistake, so please don't tell Adam that I got 2 of them. That'll be our little secret, but I think I'm going to use both of them on this layout. I found an orange flower that I'm going to kind of mix in there. This is from the newer collection, and it's a completely different style of flower, just as this rose is very different from these open petal flowers. I've got this little wood veneer, have no idea where that came from, and some little tiny ones that are meant to be like in a shaker pocket. I've got these blue leaves which came on this flower, but I'm going to use them separately. And then I have a few other things that I may not use. I'm not sure what I'm going to use for the title. I think this may be too big. It might overtake it. It's, you know, we'll figure it out. Okay, let me get the flowers kind of attached here. Let me get the original here. There's a flower here, and I kind of like this one being the mostly white flower. So I'm gonna kind of attach it right there. And then this one I thought could go there. It can just stick to that, why not? Okay, it's just right off to the side there. And then I thought I'd layer this one in kind of under that and have it leading to this one. Or do I want it this way and then that? And I like the curled petal out. So I think I may do that. And the sprigs go off to the left here. I'm going to have mine go off to the right. So let me build this in. I want the adhesive there so that it can kind of fit in under there. So I'm going to have it go under the blue flower here and then over the white flower here. Do I want that there? Yeah, and then that gives me room for a flare or a dot or something, a wood veneer maybe. So that's built up there. I want, as I said, I want these guys kind of here. I'm not going to have this journaling piece, so there's nothing really to hide these under except the photo. So I think I'm going to do them that way under the photo. And then whatever I use for my title, I'm going to staple it on like they did. I just think that's a cute idea. Okay, that's there. I really love how the dots translated on here. You'd have to watch Vicki's Friday Night Live from last night. It was Texture Paste 101, using texture paste as paint, using it as ink, just lots of fun things. Okay, that's about as far as I can take that. So let's hope that the texture paste is dry. Okay, now let's see how this ends up in the center there. Okay, and I tied my twine a little bit differently, kind of trying to follow the way that Jana's twine is tied, and I can't say that it actually worked out very well, but it is what it is. Okay, this I think I'm going to put some is that right? Yeah, that's okay there. I'll have some dimension in both areas. It'll kind of be sneaking up a bit to kind of overlap that. Okay, there. I've got this, which could kind of go down, layer down here. In the original, it has a phrase on it, and I found a phrase that says moment, or a little sticker that says moment, and it is truly one of those precious moments that you capture on camera that you don't necessarily remember the circumstances, but it's just a precious photo. And I have permission to scrap it because Ava doesn't mind my scrapping older photos of, in her words, when she was cute. And she's at that age where she doesn't necessarily think she's cute at the moment. So, speaking of moment, let me put this on some and that's exactly the same color orange as that, because it's the same collection. And I'm not happy with this flower lying flat on that flower, so I'm gonna stick some adhesive on it and kind of curl it up. Now this one could also use some foam adhesive, and I'm running out. I need to order this. I have some other stuff that I just don't, I should use it, yes, but I just don't like it as well. Okay, so now here, this flare could kind of slide in here, and if I do that, and then I think I'll use the other one up there. If I do that, I would like to have this little arrow glued onto it. So let me first get my foam underneath it. I may as well get enough foam for both of them. I do love how Jana's is compact, and I know when Rebecca did hers, she had a larger photo and she noticed that hers didn't translate as being quite so compact, and I thought, well, I'll do my photo small then, but still it's okay, here. It's not compact. I want it here by the flower or up there. I think I'm gonna, because I've still got the clouds up here, and I'll use the clouds to kind of get rid of this sort of awkward look there in the texture paste. I could do that. I could layer that there, and this one kind of behind it. I'll just leave that there for the moment. And let me get my little arrow on here. I just love how when you're pushing the texture paste through with your finger, and some of it has gotten through, but the part that you put with your finger is not as dark as the part that went through when you scraped it. It gives it a little different color inside with the dark outside. It's just so cute. Okay, put a star here, which is also appropriate for a little sports picture. Okay, now I've got the gold camera with black, and I've got the blue camera. Well, first of all, let's do the title. I think I'm going to go with this smaller. I like having Vicki's handwriting. So I want to do this, and I'm going to do a little bit of foam down here because it's going to bridge a couple different elevations there. And I want it to have the staple on it, but I don't want to staple it actually onto the picture. So I think I'm just going to put the staple on like that, and it'll just look like it's stapled onto the picture, or at least onto the cluster. There we go. Okay, I've got a few bits left. I've got this orange banner-y thing, which could maybe go there and kind of balance that bottom one. I could do that. And I don't have to have much of it showing to get that effect. Okay, that's good. Do I want the camera? I think these are cute if I can keep them curled up. I'm not feeling the camera. I do like this, but I'm not sure where I'd put it. Maybe right there. Yes. I love this darker kind of burned look to wood veneer. I like for the lines to be really, for you to notice the shape. Okay, now, do I want a camera? Do I need a camera? This is just not the right style. Okay, I'm gonna leave the camera off. I do have this little thing that says little moments, but I've already used the word moment on there. This is a planner sticker sheet, Amy Tangerine, I'm gonna guess. Don't have anything there. I think I saw something in the beginning of it that was interesting to me. Nope. I'm not feeling that I need any of that. I had this one, this Explore, it says, and it looks like she's exploring. So I thought maybe the Explore could go layered under that flower, and it's gray, so it's neutral and it doesn't compete with any of those other colors. I have this one that says Wonder, and if there was an obvious place I might go ahead and put it in, but I think I'm gonna put it in the reject pile for now. I also momentarily considered the Good Vibes and maybe even this rainbow or this flower or the orange one of these, but I think I've used enough. Let's see, and I've used something from there and something from there. The reason I'm putting them off to the side is I want to be sure that I don't forget anything. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is add some gold splatters. And I want the splatters pretty much on everything. The flowers, the leaf tendrils, these leaves, everything except the photo. So I'm going to cut something. There's an envelope from today's class, but it actually has something in it. So let me get a piece of packaging here. I just opened a new box, some new adhesive. So I kind of do that. Oh, I never did put the clouds down. Let's do that. I know I want this one to pop up. The other one's gonna layer underneath. Let me get the look there. I still want it on some foam. There. Okay. So my clouds are in a different place and they're not white, and my tag is not craft, and I didn't use as much. I'm actually going to add, this gold should add another layer of media, let's say, another texture. And this is not Heidi Swapp's Color Shine, but it's kind of the best next best thing to it. It's Gold Glitter by Jen Hadfield Homemade. So, and I'm going to, like I said, try to get it on the flowers and the leaves and everything except Ava. Okay, and I'm gonna let that dry naturally. I think I pulled out a sequin mix, and I believe that with the splatters, I was gonna pull some of those blue sequins. So I believe when the splatters dry, I'll look at it and see if it needs that. I don't think it's going to, just between you and me. And I know that I usually dry. You can kind of see on here where I blotted this, how shiny that is. And it works wonders, but the way that I sprayed it on here, that's not practical. So I'm gonna let it dry on its own, and it should still be nice and shiny. Okay, looking at it through the camera lens, I think I like it, and I don't think I'll need to use any sequins, but if I do, it'll be those blue ones, and I just can't, maybe one, or a little group of 3 here and maybe a group of 3 over here. So I think it's fine the way it is. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday for Scrap Squad Sunday. Bye.